Hey everyone, it's Pixelated Rail here and welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you're new. 2 videos in one day. No, I was not expecting it. If I knew there would be a patch today, I wouldn't have uploaded the one that I did very early this morning. But we have a brand new free patch update. This is a core update to the game. So today in this video, we are going to be going through the patch notes and of course talking about what is changed, what is fixed. This one isn't super long, but Senior Community Manager over at Dovetail also writes a follow-up statement to the patch, and we're actually going to be starting with this today. There are no suspension improvements with this update. I know a lot of you guys expected that to come. I think it was this week or next week, but no, there's no suspension. I know that they first announced that suspension would be coming towards the end of July. Then I started hearing the end of July, early August. So I knew it was around the corner, but I guess it is once again not coming with this update, which is honestly very disappointing. I mean, we've waited almost a year for this. This was basically promised in the announcement and reveal of Train Sim World 4. I understand again, because I talked about this in my last video and honestly the one before that things take time. They want it to be perfect. They want it to be good, and so do I, but I definitely think that Dovetail is over-promising a lot. I think that they shouldn't be announcing things unless they're near completion or have been completed. And the fact that we've been talking about suspension for almost a year now, we still don't have it, it's still not a part of this update that has rolled out today, is definitely disappointing. So DTG Alex writes, "Hi folks, I wanted to confirm with the above patch we shipped earlier this afternoon. Previously this mentioned improvements for the upcoming suspension and formation update we had planned, but this was caused by a mix-up internally of key dates and simply human error. We deeply apologize for the confusion caused. The above notes have been amended to confirm the correct improvements that were shipped today." Wow, so you're saying originally these patch notes actually mentioned that formation and suspension were a part of it when they in fact were not, but then were removed? Geez, that's kind of messy, but okay. Definitely disappointing, but it is what it is, you know? We hope you are still excited about the suspension improvements coming shortly. They are almost ready and undergoing final testing. We will keep you updated and confirm a timeline for when you expect this very soon. So how soon is shortly? Is that going to be within the coming week, the coming 2 weeks? Are we not going to have this until after Dovetail Direct? Because let's be honest, if they do in fact announce and officially reveal Train Sim World 5, there really is no point in even bothering with Train Sim World 4 anymore, because they're likely gonna market Train Sim World 5 as having suspension at launch, even though they marketed Train Sim World 4 as suspension coming. I mean, I didn't mind waiting, what was it, 2 months, 4 months, 5 months, okay, maybe even 6 months, but almost a whole year with no suspension for Train Sim World 4, and then for them to likely push it as a main selling point for Train Sim World 5 is definitely crazy. So now on to the full change log. DTG Harry writes, "Hi folks, this afternoon we shipped an update to Train Sim World 4 which includes improvements and fixes, including supporting updates to the Expert DBBR 101. This update should be available on all platforms from 1300 UTC, 1400 BST. Please allow up to 24 hours for updates to come through." So for free roam, they fixed an issue on the class 150, class 170, and class 484, which prevented controller inputs from being able to use the reverser. They fixed an issue with the 1972 stock where the loco was unable to move after being spawned. Fixed an issue with the DBBR 406 not taking power after being spawned. So one bullet point for Southeastern High Speed: improvements to the PIS on class 375, 377, 395 to work as expected on AI trains. We have a handful of bullet points for the DBBR 218: improvements to smoke, audio, and animations of the AI 218s, multiple several audio improvements to 218, including a fix to ensure CIFA and PZB warnings are audible from external camera view, fixes to scenarios, to the rescue, early bird, and late picker with deadlocks and arrival completion times, fixed cab car to allow vehicles to be attached to it using Formation Designer, various improvements to fix text typos, and various texture improvements to the 218 and cab car. So on call knock-in for the DBBR442, they fixed an issue to resolve the 442 not being able to run RE9 eastbound services, and for the DBBR628, there were improvements to snow textures on the unit. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little surprised to see New York Trenton here at all, considering the last update had New York Trenton fixes, which I never actually got around to sitting down and talking to you guys about. They mentioned that, you know, they fixed alerter beeping. They didn't fix anything because everything is still happening the same exact way that it was previously. Honestly, I don't even want to go on the forums and create a whole thread about this because there was an issue at one point where the performance of New York to Trenton just absolutely tanked. There was extreme amounts of microstuttering. Literally every second or 2 seconds, it would stop and freeze and hitch for a whole second or so. It made it almost impossible to play. It was virtually unplayable, and this started happening out of nowhere. When I tell you that I was literally gaslit in that thread that there was something wrong with my computer or that there was something wrong with my game, when it was actually something internally on Dovetail's side, which eventually they fixed but never told us what they fixed. Ever since that whole situation, I have just kind of given up with creating threads on the forums because that whole thing was so stressful. Like, I have a $3,000 PC. Do not tell me it is my computer causing these hitches on a route that once before didn't hitch. It was absolutely ridiculous. And yeah, it was Dovetail's staff that came in and was basically saying, yeah, it's your computer, it's your computer. I have to go through that thread, especially the beginning, and try to get some screenshots out of it because it was honestly crazy. I will say, thankfully, there were other players that did come in and say, hey, I'm having this issue too. It started happening for me. And then that's when they started looking into things and they rolled out a fix and they never told us what they fixed, but they must have screwed something up on their end because it was kind of crazy. But for the bi-level cab car, for this update, they pushed out a fix to the alerter toggle with a controller, added localization to rail driver controls, and fixed PIS on AI trains not working as expected. That's good, but I would have appreciated if they would have gone back to really try to fix that alerter beeping because they mentioned in the last update that that issue was fixed or at least improved, and it is still happening just as much as it happened before. I hear it happening on the ALPs, I hear it happening on the bi-level cab cars, I hear it happening on the ACS64s, the Acellas, the Metroliner cab cars, literally every single loco that exists for New York to Trenton. When I am driving it and another AI service passes, I'm hearing that beeping constantly. It gets so annoying. Like I mentioned on the forums at one point, if this sort of issue was on a German route or on a UK route, they would have not let it stew this long. It would have been fixed almost immediately. I can bet you within weeks, maybe a month tops, it would have been fixed. We've been dealing with this for over a year now on New York Trenton, and it really goes to show that US content, US players, we really are an afterthought, or at least that's how it feels. Dovetail, do better. All right, OBB 111.6 fixed to the OBB 111.6 does not start driving with LZB on. OBB 4024 fixed to the OBB 4024 to be able to be driven in free roam mode, fixed to allow you to take over service from AI ALP 46. I know that free roam mode has been very weird and very finicky, and there are some locos that literally do not start up. Like, it's not possible to even drive them in free roam, and I've been noticing that they've been slowly working out fixes to get more of these locos working in free roam, which is good, though this should have been something that was done from the start, you know, when free roam mode was first released. All right, coming down to the end here, ScotRail BR Class 158 fixed an issue with the GSMR not showing when turned on, and Salzburg Rosenheim fixes to text on the PIS board during the route introduction. Improvements previously listed for Vorarlberg and Noviker Dresden will be bundled in with suspension and formation changes coming soon. So I guess we don't have an official date on when we can expect that suspension. They just keep saying coming soon or very soon. Final testing. So I'm hoping it's sometime this month in August, but honestly, I'm not holding my breath. I'm just going to expect that it comes after Dovetail Direct, and I can bet you $1 million they're going to use suspension and formation designer as a key selling point for Train Sim World 5, which honestly wouldn't surprise me in the least. That's gonna be it for me for this video. Share your thoughts down below on this latest patch update for the core game, all of the changes and fixes implemented. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Take care and happy rail simming.